So which source is best for finding quality recruits? Well, that's hard to say. Each one can work, while no single source works every time. What many organizations do is to develop and study a yield ratio, a percentage of applicants from each source who make positive moves from one stage to the next of the hiring process. A high yield ratio indicates that the source has been good in generating quality candidates. Another way of analyzing effectiveness is to determine the cost per hire. Now you take the cost of a recruitment source and then divide that cost by the number of people hired for a particular job or a classification of jobs. A low number means the source is an effective way of filling a vacancy at a minimal rate. Another influencing factor in the recruiting process is the individual recruiter. Now that person's characteristics and behaviors will have an effect on how well potential applicants view the organization and the job. The recruiter becomes a salesperson for the firm. The recruiter can either be a human resources specialist or a job expert, someone who is already in the position, for example. In general, the job expert is viewed as having more credibility, although the HR specialist can do well as long as that person does have a good understanding of the job. Studies also show that recruiters who come across as warm and informative make the best impressions on potential recruits. During the recruiting process, it's important that recruiters avoid misleading candidates, such as not overselling the desirability of a job. Studies also show, however, that the overall influence of the recruiter is less than what the organization itself has to offer. Job features such as pay, security, and advancement opportunities all carry a good deal more weight with prospective applicants. Recruiters can improve their impact through providing timely feedback. Recruiters also need to avoid offensive behaviors because it can give a poor impression about the organization. To balance the needs of human resources within the total organization with the needs of the individual department with the job opening, and to give the best impression of the company, a firm may choose to use a panel to interview candidates. One or more persons on the panel may be a human resources specialist, while one or more may be a supervisor or someone else actually in the job. Now this gives the advantage of having someone familiar with company policies and legal requirements, as well as someone familiar with the ins and the outs of the job itself. So again, human resources plays an important role in organizational strategy to forecast personnel needs and to implement personnel needs and evaluate the results. Human resources determines the labor demand when necessary to eliminate labor surpluses or avoid labor shortages, leading the way within the organization to make job vacancies more attractive and to find the most effective ways to seek out and attract job applicants. We'll next take up the process of selecting employees and placing them in jobs.